Shalom, shalom, Shabbat Adonai. Welcome to the Sixth Exodus program. This segment, I want to read to you the revolts that happened from our descendants that revolted when they was put onto slave ships, according to Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 68. The transatlantic slave trade began in 1526 and ended in 1863. This was the Emancipation Proclamation, but the last revolt was by John Brown in Virginia in 1859. But I want to read to you all the revolts that occurred. Now, let me tell you the thing about this. You remember when God told Abraham that his descendants would be slaves for 400 years? It's almost 400 years. Check out the math. If you put, now we've been told that in 1619 was when we came here as slaves, but it is 2015 now. God told Abraham that your descendants would be in slavery for 400 years. So from 1619 until 2015, I think it's 369 years. Is that right? 396 years. Is that right? Okay. So that means it's almost 400 years. But the slave trade began in 1526, not 1619. Okay. So God knows when the slave trade, when it happened. Okay. We don't know. We know we were told it was started in 1619. But even if you start at 1619 until today, the year 2015, that will be 396 years. So you can see how close we are. And God is a precise God. You can look at our history. God did everything precisely. When he said we would be in slavery for 70 years, we was there 70 years and we came out. So he said 400 years. So it's going to be 400 years and we coming out. So 400 years it's got to be right at the door. Even if you count slave began at 1619, but I don't think it began at 1619 because here, if you look at, I'm going to read you off these names and then you can study them yourself. In 1526, the San Miguel del Duque, that was the first slave trade. It was in, they landed in Georgia. They was in a place right now, it's called Harris Neck Wildlife Reserves in McIntosh County in Savannah, Georgia. That's where the first slave ship was landed at. In 1570, Gaspar Yaga Revolt at Vela Cruz. Then there was in 1712 the New York Slave Revolt. And then in 1733 the St. John Slave Revolt. In 1739 Stano Rebellion. In 1741, the New York Conspiracy. In 1760, the Tacky War was in Jamaica. In 1791 until 1804, the Haitian Revolution in Saint Dominique. In the 1800s, Gabriel Prosser in Virginia revolt. In 1803, the Ebo landing in St. Simon's Island in Georgia. The Ebo people are still there practicing the language now. They're in Nigeria. That's where most of us was brought from, Nigeria. That's where most of the Hebrews went to, Nigeria. But we still have people there are still keeping the Hebrew faith. They're called Igbo, I-G-B-O. They're still there practicing in Nigeria. It's where when we fled Israel, we went to Nigeria and we intermingled with the Igbo people because the Igbo people was there before we went there. We believe that these people left Moses when there was a tribe that left Moses and went there to West Africa. And we believe those are the same people because they're still practicing the Hebraic faith. In 1805, the Chatham Minor in Virginia revolt. It was in Chatham Minor in Virginia. In 1811, the German Coast Uprising in New Orleans. In 1815, George Boxley in Virginia uprising. The Bussa Rebellion and Barbados uprising. The Denmark Versey in South Carolina. The Nat Turner Rebellion in 1831. The Baptist War Rebellion in 1832 in Jamaica. The Amistad Ship Rebellion on the coast of Cuba Rebellion, it was in 1839. The Creole Case Ship Rebellion in 1841. The Slave Revolt in the Cherokee Nation. Cherokees owned black people also. There were a lot of Indians who had slaves. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of Indians, not just white people, but Indians had slaves also. So the Cherokee Nation had slaves, and there was a slave revolt in 1842. And then the last revolt was John Brown in Virginia in 1859. And then the President Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation in 1863. But those are all the revolts that had happened since black people came here to America, Brazil, Western Indies, and the Caribbeans. And we will be going home soon, y'all. Just hold out, keep holding out, keep the law, love the Lord, serve Him with gladness. Come before His presence with singing. The Lord has never lost a battle, and neither shall we if we stay close to Him and obey His, love His laws, love the Lord's commandment. I love the Sabbath day. Keep the Sabbath day holy, people. Friday sunset until Saturday sunset. It's the laws of the Lord. Keep the holy Sabbath. Remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. Put God first. Turn off the football games, turn off the soccer games, whatever you like to look at, turn it off. Give God His time. If you love Him, keep His commandments.